pretty much just took advantage of their youth. You know, I don't know that the base wasn't created by the FBI. You know, I don't much trust anything they do.
The reason that we got involved is because of the crazy stuff that was being posted. All I know is people that go online covert for the FBI were talking about this guy TMB. They're like, this guy is, saying some crazy stuff. That was before me. That's what put him on the radar.
And the court documents make it clear that Luke Lane was an active recruiter.
It ebbs and flows. You might pick up a new member, and they do the interview, they pass, they get the face-to-face vetting, and then they're down in Georgia training with us. They're spewing hate and pro-Hitler and all this stuff, and then they get off on these tangents of giant Agarthans living in Middle Earth with Hitler, and they're coming back one day, and I'm just like, I need a drink. Maybe I am too old to do this.
In the end, that's exactly what he decided. Although he was only 50, undercover work takes a toll, so Scott turned in the badge in the summer of 2021. He could have ridden off into retirement on his Harley with his wife on the back, belting out some country tunes and sipping whiskey in obscurity. And I probably would have never known who the UCE was, or thought of him again. But then, he decided to talk to Rolling Stone.
He wasn't allowed to tell his story until the day after he retired, so he had reached out.
That's Paul Solitaroff, a staff contributor at Rolling Stone magazine. He wrote a profile on Scott that cast him as the most storied FBI agent since Joe Pistone, a.k.a. Donnie Brasco.
I didn't set out to write about Scott. I set out to write about the kids he was chasing.
But once you started talking, it turned into a profile of Scott. How did that happen?
He left me no choice. You know, the force of Scott's personality and the force of his persona, right? He just has this extraordinary ability to make himself the center of every room he walks into. And I challenge anyone who meets Scott to write about something on the margins after you've met that guy. Shall I just start?
Paul is an incredibly vivid writer. Go for it.
He's been lifting all his life and has the setup to prove it. Mailbox quads and meat plow arms that dispose him to sleeveless tees.
In his piece, Scott comes off as a type of superhero who not only took down the base, but in his 28 years in law enforcement, also managed to infiltrate the KKK and